winter nights during the Christmas time in Imperial Russia were pure magic. And now we're reporting from St. Petersburg, and today's occasion is the New Year celebration and Christmas in Russia. There was never a shortage of ice, cold and snow in St. Petersburg, and a couple of centuries ago it was even more festive. People would ice skate, slide down the ice-covered hills on sledges, snow fortresses were built all over the place, and everyone would wear a costume.
Decorating a tree for Christmas is a relatively new thing for Russia, as the tradition only started in the early 1800s. Back then, the future-to-be Emperor Nicholas I was engaged with the German princess Alexandra, who, after coming to Russia, would miss her home country badly. And to brighten up her days, in 1817 they have installed and decorated the first Russian Christmas tree.
At that time, each family member would have his own tree set up. And all of them had many children, nephews and nieces, so there were lots of kids all over the place, and palaces would look like a pine forest inside. The family would meet at night by the doors to the largest room of the Winter Palace, and Alexandra would then, at a certain hour, open the doors and take each kid by the hand and walk him or her to their personal Christmas tree.
Next to each tree there was a table with white-colored tablecloth covering it, full of all sorts of gifts, from toys to books, exquisite dresses, jewelry and paintings. Grand Duchess Olga, one of Nicholas I's daughters, once received a grand piano as a gift, and her sister once got a new boyfriend as a gift. When she entered the main hall of the Winter Palace on a New Year's Eve, she saw a young man, who happened to be a foreign prince who she was in love with, tied to a tree. Emperor Alexander III once got a Smith & Wesson 38 model with a holster and 100 rounds of ammo from his wife, and their sons got an English-made knife each. The boys would usually get toy soldiers, rifles and swords. Their courtiers would also receive Christmas gifts. There was even a lottery taking place from time to time with real tickets. The lucky winner would get something very special, for example, porcelain gifts made at the Imperial Porcelain Factory. The royal family would not only celebrate their holidays behind closed doors. In 1837, George Dallas, the 11th Vice President of the United States and then Ambassador of the United States to the Russian Empire, was invited to celebrate the New Year at the Royal Palace. He wrote that the event was magnificent. All the guests arrived dressed in a posh way. There were courtiers, various noblemen, as well as government officials among them. The Empress would greet everyone personally, even though her health was bothering her. In a private conversation with Mr. Dallas, she said, "On a night like this one, I get to meet and chat with about 4,000 people." After the royal family had introduced the Christmas tree tradition to Russian citizens, everyone started decorating one. The trees were all over, in theaters, private clubs, out in public areas. Tree decorations were originally shipped over from Germany, and the most expensive ones would be worth as much as a house in St. Petersburg. The grandson of Prince Alexander Menshikov, Prince Menshikov Jr., ran a factory that produced all sorts of glass-made items: light bulbs, vials for perfume shops, bottles and vials for drug stores. During the Christmas time, they started to produce glass-made garlands, which were used by every family in the city to decorate their trees. This factory is still around in Russia. Today, Christmas celebrations are different for Russians. When communists came to power in the beginning of 1900s, all the religious holidays were quickly outlawed, and New Year celebration became the main holiday of the season. After the fall of communism in 1991, the Christmas celebration has never picked up, and New Year is still a main holiday of the season in Russia. People celebrate Christmas in church and within their family. They do it on January 7, as the Russian Orthodox Church calendar is different from the rest of the world.
And we finish this episode here on the Palace Square in St. Petersburg, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas with your loved ones. May the next year be a better year and bring you all joy. Love from St. Petersburg. Come visit us. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!